Welcome back everyone to episode 10 of Hegemony 3. On this episode, we're going to start war with our northern neighbors, the Veneti. That's right, the Veneti. Now that we've captured all of our local northern Etruscan provinces, the last one being Parma, it's time for us to start taking matters into our own hands as far as our neighbors go. These guys were just freebies that were given to us just by completing some quests. We also noticed that I just ran the game for a few minutes. I was recording but made a mistake. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I did explore. This is a channel, a path down here, so I'll have to watch this a little carefully, unfortunately. So I'm going to start replacing the slaves, which I have in here, with workers. I do this because if I accidentally am stupid and get something captured, I'd rather it be workers than slaves. So I usually start with slaves at the interior of my empire, and I keep pushing the workers to the fringes so that the workers are the most exposed unit in my resource buildings. And we also have a raider that was landing up here, and I guess we'll take care of him next. So let's just move this guy forward. Hopefully induce some combat. This guy's already in good enough shape. Oh, is this a new guy? Oh, he's new, but no experience, huh? That's fine. I'm confident just with even this one unit could take care of the hoplites by itself, but let's see if we can induce combat. This is always the challenge, that for some reason these raiders don't like to lose their ships. Last time, if I'm not mistaken, I had to get really darn close to get the hoplite. Oh, what? Something's happening now? They're going away. Yeah, that's a little confusing to me, but I think what's going to happen is I'll just get close enough to hopefully throw some axes at them. Can you do your thing? No? Can you attack them? It says no. Granted, I don't mind if they just sit there if they're not going to attack me, but it's a little awkward. But okay, fair enough. We just won't worry about him then. Hey, if he stands there and stops another raider from coming in that direction, that's even better. Okay, so we were doing some capturing in the west, and I want to line up. So I have a lot of money coming in now, but I was losing food at the very end of the last episode, so I'm trying to mix a few things up here. Let's take this slave over and grab this farm. I'll let that happen eventually. I won't rush it. It's ours already, so he just needs to hop in there. And this guy was just trying to explore, I think. So it doesn't look like there's any passable territory on the southern region until I get to this. So the two breaks in my line of defense will be this valley path here and this valley path here. It would be nice if I could explore a little further down and capture a resource center of some kind. That would give us some vision on armies moving up, especially because I know most of the activity down this way is raiders, although they are just providing me a small trickle of slaves. So for the time being, maybe I'll just let that happen. Okay, so let's actually get to our war plans then, which these guys will be an active part of. I told you that I want to try my colonization trick against Ateste, and then I will upgrade, patch up. So let's do it. Let's just throw all the units here. We have these guys, let's throw them as well. And those are 2 hoplites and 1 axeman. I probably want another set of axemen. Ah, yes, these guys were randomly capturing some of these fisheries. Let's do that, but then I'll shift-click him over here. So he'll hurry himself along as soon as he's done with that. I'm just trying to capture all these little things. It's an OCD thing. Let's just capture all the things. So, Settlemani. I don't even... Have I even seen these guys? Maybe they're up here? Oh yeah, so the liberties I took over here were just to slowly creep my empire across, and I found this bridge crossing as well, which, yeah, it's not fordable, that's right. And that's good news. So let's keep this hoplite here just to defend this whole area. And, well, let's keep pushing around. Let's have him capture this and then come back. That will be enough to give me some vision. I want to zoom out far enough where I don't lose vision of everything happening. And I did check, so it's midsummer right now. I was able to create this line, which, as you remember last time, it was not accessible. Which means I think that winter and spring, and this is not definite, but I think winter and spring are the times which you can't use the marshes. Which makes that this farm, this livestock farm, would only be valuable to me half the time. Unless, if it considers... Well, I mean, I really don't know how to swing this. It would be nice to capture because it gives me food, which is good, and money, which is good. You know, good things. Lots of good things. But if I can't use it half the time, then definitely its value diminishes. The good thing about the money is it doesn't vary. The income is constant, but the food does. So winter and spring is the lowest part of food anyway. So if I'm only able to use it for summer and autumn, I'm okay. The problem is, do I get the money income if my line's disconnected? And I fear the answer to that is no. Okay, so we have 2 hoplites gathering up here, 2 axemen. I think that'll be enough to take this city. While we're at it, we might as well take... In fact, let's load you guys up on food. Looks like you're loaded already, and you are as well. Okay, so let's just move these guys forward. They should be in skirmish mode. And... it might even be a good idea, in general, to wait for them to attack and then to counterattack right afterwards. But I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and capture some more slaves. Currently, I don't have any slaves in my empire. These are the last non-20 unit. So they're the new rally point for slaves will be wherever this guy's going, which is apparently down here. So... I haven't captured any of these things because although lumber is important, right now it's not super important. In fact, I probably have some upgrades I should be doing. Yeah, this one's just about there. That one's close. He's got a ways to go. I haven't been looking at my buildings either. I know that... Oh, my slave market. Okay, brilliant. I'm glad that we have this. So it's just going to cost a bunch of money, which is not a problem for us. Now, every time I click this, the cost is going to go up. Oh, slave market 26. Why is that at 26? Slave market 26 out of 200. That's not good. I haven't bought any. Why is... Huh. Required attribute colonization. I'm a little confused. Maybe there's a synergy that I'm missing with... Getting colonization also increases the slave count in a slave market? I'm not certain. But I have a point to spend anyways, so let's go ahead and get the colonization. I doubt that immediately raises it, but maybe I can build a slave market somewhere else. Well, let's do this. Let's buy a 20. If you see that the 20 I bought, now the cost goes up and the slave market goes down to 6. I'm not going to wait for this whole thing to respawn. It's 20 gold per turn, or per week, which I don't really care about, but more importantly, I can probably just build something else. What else would I build? Huh. Maybe I'll let it get back up to 20 and buy it one more time. Okay, but the good news is that we do have more slaves here. And what do we want to work with these slaves? I guess I can send them into this vineyard. Nope, that has 2 slaves already. Let's just find some place that doesn't have slaves. It looks like I've done a pretty good job. Okay, here. Let's send these slaves into here. When they get there, I'll... redirect these workers. Maybe we'll upgrade this mine. I know that does increase. If I do the living quarters, it will increase the repair time, but I don't think they've been raiding me. They've just been capturing me, which I'm okay with. Okay, now we captured a fishery. Was that this one? Okay, so he's finally on his way up. Oh, wow. Okay, this is splendid. Do I have... Where are you, Axemen? Yeah, these guys. Let's have these guys just chase after the workers as quickly as possible. Because if I can capture the full 20, that would be ideal. That's 20 free slaves. And I earned another skill point. So I must have had that one skill point lying over for a while. which would have driven me nuts as a viewer, but you guys were patient enough not to say anything. At this point, I've done all the economy stuff that I really want to do. The only one I usually go for after this is animal husbandry, but the problem is I really don't have that many livestock farms. What do I have? 1, 2 here. Another one here eventually, but I don't have it yet. I have 2 vineyards, so the 2 ones I would consider, because I prefer the money and the food bonus. Although there's something to be said about just getting more money, but because more money translates to more farms I can work. And because of the negative effect of the supply lines, the money it costs to work the farms will be offset by just increasing my mine output, and it will give me the biggest monetary benefit. How many mines do I own? Okay, so I guess I only own those 2. I'm a little surprised by this. I only own 2 livestock farms. 1, 2. Those 2 vineyards as well. Huh. Yeah. But we have 1, 2, 3 mines, I think, right? 1, 2, 3. Well, mines is the one that has it. The other thing I could do is actually start investing in my military. Defense up, I think, is the best thing because it allows... Usually defense stat is the highest stat on your unit. So if we increase the highest stat by 1%, we are increasing our total stats by the most. It's pretty simple math. And that would lead us to raid, morale, and I forget, siege. Okay. Eventually I think I'll get all 6 of these and probably I'll go down the morale tree. One of these does, however, although I can't scroll for some reason. This is weird. It's not letting me scroll right now. Jeez. Let's try this again. There it is. Okay, eventually I do want this marsh, heavy march, flooded marsh movement. Because I wonder, although I suspect it doesn't help, I wonder if maybe this helps my supply lines during winter and spring. Okay, but since I don't have any decision to do on any of those things, I will just take the increased money. Let's just do it. And that means I'll do the advanced mining after that, because I like to do specialization. Alright, mining, that should give me a little bit more money, which is not terribly important to me right now, as I've been saying from the beginning. Usually money's not your limiting case. It does allow us to do some things like build more slave markets, so we can upgrade this building as well. I think, let's just do it this way. Build that upgrade like that. And I'll wait a little bit. Maybe, I don't know why the slave market started at 26. That might be a change in the new patch, but I haven't gotten up yet. Let's build another one. It's basically just a wood cost. I'm converting woods to slaves, and I'd prefer to do that for the time being. Let's just get as many slaves as we can. Okay, I can upgrade this as well, which would be a barracks 2, and that'll allow elite infantry training, which will allow heavy hoplites. Not bad. And nothing else. It'll just allow these heavy hoplites. So I'll have to keep specializing Adria. Normally I do training ground and barracks because they're a good complement recruitment rate. And at the highest level of training ground, you get free experience on your recruits. So it's really good. Yeah, we could do something like that. We could just start specializing in markets, libraries in a lot of cities, get slaves out of the ones that I want to get slaves out of, and then destroy the slave markets and build the library market combinations there. How much money are you making? 75. That's not a huge amount. Oh, another thing that we have to do eventually, we've talked about this a little bit in the comments, is at some point your cities don't really distribute food at a good rate. And I am pretty low on food right now as it is, which is not good because the winter is coming up after autumn. But one way to get around this, I don't know, this poor food distribution system is just to set a minimal food supply. for all your cities. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up now. I don't have the food, I think, to do it presently, but eventually I will. And that's what these extra slaves are for, right? Okay, I can't remember which ones are cities or not. There's big, like, letters right next to it, but the camps and the cities just look too similar to me. Eventually I'll put wooden, what are they called? Wall? It's probably just called a wall. I'll put wooden walls up around our cities, and then they'll be a lot more distinguishable. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. Okay, so the moderate, we'll take that down to minimal. And we'll let it run from there. So slave market here, when that one's built, we'll get some more slaves. How do I see this? Yeah, 5%. Okay, yeah. We might have overburdened our lumber distribution for a moment, so we'll let those things catch up. Of course, city upgrades will be priority number 1. And looks like they're going to try to take this again. Now, I'm not sure if it's even better just to let them capture it. I won't, though. I'll just stick these units out. So we'll just do that. Let them capture it and then move back in. So I wonder if I can just stay even in line of sight. Let's go ahead and capture or cancel the supply line, though, to alleviate some of my money. But I don't really care about the money. This is dropped because of all the upgrades we just did. Oh, shoot. Let's go. Go, go, go. Quickly. Okay, capture. It's pretty easy to get distracted. And I'm a very distractible individual to begin with. I'm going to go ahead and build this bridge. So let's just go ahead and build that. I think it's important enough. We're going to get a lot of slaves. And not that the bridge has anything to do with the slaves, but... Okay, please don't be captured yet. Good, it's independent, which means that we should be able to capture these guys no problem. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to take a quick look around. I was kind of caught with my pants down the other time when they captured my slaves that were in this logging camp. Prefer to not have something like that happen again. These guys are in good shape. We did capture that. I'm interested in knowing what's down here, so I'm going to send that unit forward, and then I might even put a bridge there eventually. Okay, let's make sure this is all happening like I want. Good, it looks like we will have our free supply of slaves here. Trust that 100 gold will more than compensate for any losses you may have suffered. Oh, I think I just captured another unit, which caused me to defeat 5 Venetic units. There it is. Humble request 5 out of 5. So you got 100 gold for doing that, which obviously... No, please don't actually fire. No. Damn it. Did it work? They still have 20 out of 20. Good. So we defeated 5 units and they did that. And sadly... Excuse me, I don't think this ever goes away. You have to just manually go into your list of objectives and say, hey, okay, I don't really care about the thing anymore. Okay, Prelude. We got local Hegemony, so we don't need that. Raiders, alternate salaries. Is this the one we just completed? It is. So, I think, did we already get the gold? I don't even know. It just stays there, though. I'll leave it. I don't care. I just kind of ignore this list anyway. Obviously, I hadn't... Oh, we lost the mine finally. Okay, good. And they captured all 20. That's even... Oh, no. That's me. I'm red. My real-time strategy lens set in for a second. I started to think... Oh, good. We got the slaves here now, too. I started thinking, oh, hey, red means it's the enemy unit. Because we did get all 20 of these slaves, which is excellent. It's just a free... This is why Faction War is the best. Because we weren't seeing them send units. The independents don't send those units. And actually, even if they did a few times, we weren't able to capture them because we wanted to take over their cities completely. By using the built-in mechanic of just doing whatever they ask. So it's a lot better in this case to... be at war with a faction which we can just constantly steal their slaves. Alright, now let's take Ateste and start racking up the colonists. So, we should be able to build colonists in any city now. There it is. They only cost 60 right now, and since I'm maxed out, this is basically a gold investment to increase my recruit pool. Because what I could do, if I wanted, is build the colonists, let my recruit pool regenerate back up to 130, and then disband the colonists, and I would have like a recruit pool of 190. So you can just invest in a higher recruit pool by recruiting these units and then disbanding them whenever you need the actual units back. However, I actually want the colonists in this case, so let's go ahead and send them over here. Why? Oh, no, we can't send a unit through. No. Oh, God, no. First of all, I didn't know that. I didn't know that sending a unit through a bridge actually cancels it. No. Let's do it this way. Yeah. It's a little weird. In fact, it'll take you longer just to wait here than it will to actually walk back. Alright, this Axeman's ready to move in. Let's move him not all the way over. And despite all our fooling around here, we still are positive 90. Actually, I'm going to protect this slave because it's a full group of 20. That's actually pretty valuable to me. We might as well even just capture this one as well. But he's low on food, so yeah, we'll send him back down here, load up on food, and then we'll send him back over to capture that. Alright, once again, I want to take stock of what's going on in my empire. The west looks like it's pretty good. I think this one hoplite should be enough to stave off any attacks, especially because he's one of my units which actually has an upgrade. And 2 weapon master usually is the point when I go into medic. So let's give him one medic upgrade. And I think the next medic upgrade is at 1,000. But this means this unit is, how do I... Webmaster and Medic, oh, F1, right. So his melee attack is up to 93, that's from the 2 upgrades, and just from the 1 upgrade and my faction upgrade, his defense is up to 312, which is pretty good. Definitely an acceptable amount. He's combat effective. You know, these, what are they, spearmen? I forget what they're called. The first tier unit. Yeah, spearmen. You won't get him up to a situation like that. Okay, now the Umbri have conquered this. Let's go ahead and wander back over and see what's going on. Because I would like that mine, especially because I did get the mine upgrade. This slave's still working there. I have enough to build another slave. We're at 25. Okay, well let's just keep purchasing words. Let's keep purchasing these slaves as soon as they come in. And where do I want to send this guy? Okay, I'm just going to send him over here. There's probably some workers somewhere I can replace. Keep bumping up. Yeah, so there's plenty of workers here. So I'll bump these workers out, keep moving them to the fringes. We should have more contested area as soon as we take Ateste, or Ateste. We should have more contested territory, which we can send our workers and get them killed off. So, okay, Axeman, I actually don't want you to move ahead too fast. You are protecting these spearmen, or spearmen, slaves. Words are pretty difficult for me today. Okay, good. So this is not connected because of that weird bug where it disconnects. But now it is, which means these units will be resupplied. Yeah, they can get food. Perfect. It is interesting that although this thing doesn't have... Oh, it does have 20 food. Can I get... well, let me just move these slaves back now. They'd rather move that way. Well, that's fine. I guess we're sending the slaves right here anyway, right? Like, where are you going? Oh, colonists, of course. So let's see. This recruit pool is recovering. This one is overmaxed. Well, seems like a good place to build some colonists out of then. And as soon as they build one, we'll send them up here. So we just need... What is Ateste at? I don't know because I'm not in range. Okay, just load some food, man. Don't starve. Seems silly to sit there and starve when you have food available to you. Let's go ahead and capture, I'd say, this bridgehead and the other bridgehead as a kind of warning tower, warning system, alarm. That way we'll be able to see some units moving by, and hopefully it'll alert us to if these guys are getting support from their other Venetian friends. Okay, so... Hostility has decreased between us and the Umbri by 33. We're able to just straight up conquer this because there's no unit in there. So we'll do that, and when we conquer that, we'll reset up that supply line. That's just basically a mine that works half the time for us. Yeah, let's load food, guys. Let's not be stupid here. Late summer. Now I do want to encourage a little... Oh, so I have some farm here. Let's go ahead and hook that up. I don't care about the money. I do feel a little concerned about my food situation, because I do have a lot of units that are consuming food. You're actually out of supply. Okay. There you go. Now you're back in supply. Great. And actually, you're not of any use to me in the south, since there's no way any units can enter except for down here. So why don't I go ahead and move you north as well? This is kind of like the uncharted territory, the place where I'm most worried about. So let's do that. This guy was out of supply, out of food too, as far as I remember. Yeah, he's just... he's going to flee at the first sign of engagement. I won't care about that for the time being. We're just going to load up food here and charge into the unknown. Well, I guess it's like the partly known. But I'm glad that we do have this supply connection, and this won't be stopped by the marsh. So this should help us, you know, rain, snow, sleet, or shine, right? Okay, so this is still not visible for some reason. Let's get you guys to go ahead and... Oh, you're already in phalanx mode. You aren't, so let's get you to do that. Move a little closer. Let's get you into ranged mode. And what kind of city are we dealing with here? Okay. So it's a level 4, which means I'm going to need 4 colonists in the end in order to convert it to my culture. I'm not going to use Adria. In fact, I probably should, with the little money I have remaining, build a recruitment center here. It seems like it's going to be necessary, and I really wouldn't mind for the highest tier upgrade, I don't mind getting the training ground experience bonus. So this will be 20, but I'm okay with that, yeah. Our lumber supply seems to be pretty good for now. I bet we have some cities that can be upgraded. Can you build me more slaves? You can. These slaves are really pouring in. I like it. Money is not a concern, especially because these slaves themselves are going to be a source of increased revenue. Okay, let's keep moving slaves this way. And you should be able to build me some slaves too. So notice that the cost is only 140 for this. Yeah, they start at 100 out of 100. So let's do 209 now at cost. 247. I guess what I'm going to do is just buy all the slaves and demolish this building right away. This is typically what I do. That'll give me some wood back. And what I'll do is right away switch this over to a market. And I think the market, yeah, it's just built immediately because the 200 wood that I redeemed from my slave market is immediately cashed into a market. I'm also going to upgrade this to a market too, because why not? Might as well get the highest upgraded. That's just the most efficient thing, is to get the highest upgrade buildings wherever they're available. I mean, the higher ones cost more money, which is the reason why I haven't upgraded this barracks, but for markets and for libraries, I feel like it only makes sense. Okay, so here's one that's ready to upgrade. Let's do that. Not ready. Not ready. Got a ton of slaves, I see. And not ready. Okay. Now we have a ton of slaves, which is wonderful. I almost need to, like, off camera, start looking where I want these slaves to go. Okay. Alright, let's just look for any workers. Oh, well, here's a worker right here. Ah, and this farm is actually only 40 out of 20. So this worker's unnecessary. Let's connect this supply line. And that should actually increase our money. There it is. Where does this worker want to find his... I think right here. This is great. Let's go take this over. There's your new occupation. Your new job is over there. And we also want to populate this mine, which is pretty close to unknown territory for me. We want that one to be full of workers. I had a slave. Yeah, here's the slave that's partly there. So let's have this 10 just go directly to that, and we'll have 5 slaves left over. This guy, well, let's have him work this lumber mill because we've already included it on our supply network, and it's just vacant, so that'll help. Okay, and here's, yeah, so we have 3 workers here which need to be dealt with. I mean, worst case scenario is if I can't find a place for the workers to go, it's not a worst case scenario, it's a great scenario. I can just cancel them. 1, they will add their recruit back to the pool, which is good. And 2, we'll be able to spend 10 gold less a week. Okay, so I've seen that this episode's gotten to about the time when I like to stop it, which is, in this case, 30 minutes. And I think we have a bit of a fight in front of ourselves here with 2 Peltis unit, and they also have a skirmisher. So I'm going to just pick up in the next episode with the actual fight for Ateste. What do we call this one? Just another exercise in cleaning up the empire, I guess. So everything's ready, though. I feel like the slaves are starting to get pushed around to the places where I want them. I have a constant slave supply from Ravenna for the time being. Spina did its job. It got its 5 slaves out and delete. Probably just do the same thing with Mutna. 5 slaves out and then switch it to a market. But we'll do all that in the next episode. So thanks for watching.